2 people were killed and 4 others injured after a lorry overturned in MBEYA region. Members of Parliament have urged the government to avoid laws which will hurt Tanzanians. And in sports, Simba and Yanga have been warmly welcomed in respective regions ahead the Azam Sports Federation Cup semi-finals. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. 2 people died on the spot and 4 others were injured after a Fuso lorry overturned at Msanga Mwelu area in MBEYA district rather. Lorry had been carrying a cargo of various goods as well as traders who were returning from an auction.
Kwenye majira ya jioni kuingia kwenye saa 12 jioni palitokea ajali mbaya.
In the evening, there was a serious accident in Mitsubishi Fuso, which was heading towards Songwe. He arrived at the scene, brakes failed, and resulted in the death of 2 people and the injured who were hospitalized in MBEYA.
Tunaendelea kumsaka na mahali popote aliko ajisalimishe kwenye kituo cha polisi.
We're still looking for the driver and the owner of this car, and wherever he is, he should surrender to the police station. My request to the people of MBEYA and Tanzanians is that you do not agree to be loaded into a truck. We have issued a warning to the driver to load people into these vehicles. I call on drivers. We are launching a special search for drivers who fill in the citizens in these trucks. We want citizens to do their business but to not violate road safety laws. So they should follow rules and regulations of the road.
Some members of Parliament have called on the government to have tax laws which will not be the cause of conflict between the government and the people. They made the call when debating the 2021 financial bill in Parliament.
Sheria za kodi zinapaswa kuwa sheria ambazo hazina.
Tax laws should be non-controversial because at the end of the day it affects a person's constitutional right to own property.
Kwa sababu sasa hivi serikali za mitaa,
local governments do not have their own board or funds for rural roads.
CAG kwenye ripoti ya miaka 3 mfululizo.
The CAG in a report over the past 3 years has said that there has been a lack of ethics, financial discipline, nor when we are indebted and given the consent of the government.
Timilifu, kutokuwa na nidhamu ya matumizi ya fedha.
Residents from Kalombo Mkolechi village, Kala Ward, Nkasi district, RUKWA region have expressed concern after armed robbers entered the village and stole various properties, including boat engines. The Defense and Security Committee in the region has assured that the problem will be addressed.
This is a common occurrence incident. I would like to request that we be provided with a police station in this ward. The attackers are unknown. They have stolen 3 water machines, 7 solar panels, batteries, mobile phones, but also we have casualties who were injured with 21 nails. I urge you to cooperate. These thugs are from among us. The government has a responsibility to protect your life. The government is me and you are protecting life by reporting these criminals.
The government has launched the 5th health sector strategy for 2021 to 2026, which aims to improve access to quality services and health insurance.
Zipo changamoto mbalimbali ambazo zimeendelea kuwepo katika
There are challenges that have continued to exist in implementing health improvement issues in the country. This includes the distance to health facilities, especially in rural areas. Many areas have not been accessed. staff shortages, and this goes hand in hand with increasing the population, but the pace of increasing the staff itself is a challenge. Let me take this opportunity that the Health Ministry is preparing a document to be submitted to the Cabinet, after which we will get the exact direction on what to do after the proposal, and you will be given this information because we must have a cooperation of stakeholders and citizens.
Umefuata afua zinazofaa za matumizi ya teknolojia.
We have found appropriate interventions for the use of technology, devolution of power, and integration of the relevant sectors to meet the needs of the community, as well as universal insurance plan for everyone.
Sisi mashirika ya umoja.
The UN agencies will continue to coordinate the contribution of development partners in the implementation of these strategic
wadau wa maendeleo katika utekelezaji wa mpango mkakati huu.
Stakeholders in the transport sector have said implementation of the empowerment law in Zambia, expected to start soon, violates trade agreements on rules and regulations reached by member countries of Southern Africa Development Community SADC. At a meeting in Dar es Salaam, they urged the government to intervene on the issue in order to prevent negative impact on the transport sector.
Lakini hatuko tayari kushindana na ukatel, kwamba watu hawa wanapewa biashara.
We are not ready to compete with those who do business by using unfriendly laws. Although SADC community prohibits some issues in trade, for improvements of ensuring that our port reaches 30 million tons, it is best if the government will take this matter as a challenge that will affect us as a country. But the transporters use 2 million tons in a day. When they carry luggage from Dar es Salaam to Zambia, they put enough fuel for go and return. Not only that, in order for food to be transported from there to Dar es Salaam at affordable prices, these lorries could be used. Thus, there is need of creating competitive trade environment with our neighbors.
Lakini wasafirishaji hawa, matransporta wa Tanzania.
The Regional Commissioner of Dar es Salaam, Amos Makala, has urged residents of Dar es Salaam to take precautions against the third wave of the coronavirus, as the country has started to see indicators of the virus.
Kutoa rai kwa wananchi wa mkoa wa Dar es Salaam.
I urge the people of Dar es Salaam to take precaution and protect themselves against corona. In our country, there are indicators, but in neighboring countries, the patients were also in danger and cannot be an island.
Zaidi ya ndege 23 zinaingia kwa
More than 23 aircrafts land every day, and we conduct rapid tests at the airport. We commend the Minister of Health for the guidelines given. If we did not conduct tests and isolation, the situation would be worse.
Kuna kuhimizwa ikafikia hatua kwamba barakoa.
People stopped wearing masks when the rate of infection went down. I urge the government to ask people to do so because there are those with no understanding. We are not able to sell as many masks as we did before.
Kwa kidogo tunapata riziki, lakini kwa kipindi hiki kimekuwa kigumu kwa sababu ni wachache ambao wanaelewa kujikinga wenyewe.
As Tanzania draws close to commemorating the first anniversary of the death of the third phase president, the late Benjamin Mkapa, residents of Musoma District Council in Mara region have called on the government to collaborate with the Benjamin Mkapa Foundation in improving healthcare services.
Kabla ya hapo watu walikuwa wanaenda Musoma zaidi ya kilomita 45.
In the past, people used to go as far as 45 kilometers, which is a very long distance to access healthcare. Before Benjamin Mkapa Institute was established, here women had to pay a lot of money to go to town for an operation, but now we're able to serve more patients. We've seen an increase in the number of people accessing healthcare. For example, the number of women delivering their babies at the center has increased.
Lakini pia akina mama wale wanaohudhuria kwenye kliniki za wajawazito nao pia wameongezeka.
The Commissioner General of Immigration, Dr. Anna Makakala, has said that during July last year and May this year, the Immigration Department has arrested more than 19,000 illegal immigrants from various nations where legal measures were taken against them, including returning them to their countries.
The Immigration Department is making progress in searches and patrols to ensure our country remains safe in the fight against illegal migrants. Searches conducted since July 2020 until May 2021, 19,037 were arrested. The Immigration Department is working with other security and safety organs in various terror operations, and we're working efficiently using resources at our disposal. If our borders were left open, this country would not be safe. There would be a large number of people who had no rights to live here. Work that has been completed include clearing the area, constructing office buildings, digging out the foundation, and laying concrete.
The new District Commissioner of Mwanga in Kilimanjaro region, Abdallah Mwayupaya, has said in collaboration with the Defense and Security Committee and institutions involved with addressing people's grievances, he will address the problem of elephant invasions in farms and residents' homes, as well as illegal fishing at MBEYA Mungu Dam.
Already I've met the Security and Safety Committee. I've spoken with them and we've had a discussion. The main thing is to address the challenges and to add new ideas that I've brought in. So if not completely deal away with illegal fishing, then we should be able to significantly reduce it. There are different items that can be used, and when elephants see them, they run away from residential areas. This happens in a lot of areas. Money comes in, but you don't get to have it, when a lot of projects should be finished within 3 months. So I've instructed that the District Commissioner should be assisted in this.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. Welcome back, and in international news. Several Kenya Defense Forces KDF soldiers have died and others seriously injured after a military helicopter landed at the Old Tepesi area in Ngong, Kajiado County. The Kenya Air Force helicopter, with a capacity of 24, was on a training mission when it crashed. Now, moving on, the UN General Assembly has voted overwhelmingly in favor of an annual resolution calling for the need of the nearly 60-year-old U.S. embargo on Cuba for the 29th time by a vote of 184 to 2. Here's more on the report.
U.S. sanctions on Cuba were imposed in 160 following the nationalization of properties belonging to U.S. citizens and corporations in the wake of the revolution led by Fidel Castro. Only Israel voted with the U.S. against the resolution, while 3 other allies, Ukraine, Colombia and Brazil, abstained. Cuba has called the embargo a systematic violation of the rights of the Cuban people.
The government of Tanzania has pledged to provide assistance to victims of the Mount Nyiragongo volcano eruption in Goma, North Kivu, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The support comes as victims of the volcano continue to live in difficult conditions after the eruption that had occurred on May 22nd this year.
Volcano iliyolipuka hapa na ilitisha sana.
The erupted volcano threatened many. Several people lost their lives. As Tanzania, we send our condolences. and currently some evaluations are underway to find out what things are needed, because my country is determined to extend a hand. I shall visit the affected areas myself and will send information home on how are we going to support our brothers and sisters. We received aid, although it is not enough. Indeed, we are suffering.
Unakutana benye bakulunguzia nje bako napokea zile mabashe wanaenda jenga maburende. Natuka tunateseka sana.
Some top leaders in Uganda have called on President Yoweri Museveni to prepare for a smooth transition for the benefit of the nation. Among those giving the advice include close ally and former Minister of Security who fought in the 1986 power struggle in the country.
I think the best advice we can give him is prepare for a smooth transition.
I think the best advice we can give him is prepare for a smooth transition for the benefit of the country. It is our responsibility to help him understand and value other people's opinions. He has given this country his best, and he deserves an honorable retirement.
Save the president that problem, or we should save him.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next after the break. We'll be right back.
In this program, we'll be looking at the recently unveiled budget by the government of Tanzania.
Any questions related to this budget should not be looked in terms of the government should provide everything. I know the government is in the good move to enhance the PPP, the private-public partnership policies, laws, and the like, to make the economy functional. So that's number one. In budgeting, you don't plan as per the amount you don't own. You plan as per the amount you owe.
We should be optimistic.
We should.
If they listen to views and advice from the experts and everything like that. Yeah.
I'm impressed because you have 7.4, something like that, going to the main projects, the strategic projects. That is almost 26.
So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing for the infrastructures and so on, because we've been saying our government investment GDP ratio is very small, and that cannot enhance productivity in the economy.
Business Edition on Friday at 8:50 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Executive Secretary of Tanzania National Business Council, TNBC, Dr. Godwill Wanga, has said preparations for the 12th meeting of the council, which will be led for the first time by President Samia Suluhu Hassan, will focus on the importance of value chain in forestry resources in order to speed up industrial development, improve the efficiency in regulatory authorities and taxation.
Mkutano huu yapo mambo mengi.
A lot of things are going to be discussed in order to improve trade environment, where we shall look at challenges faced in the industry. Aim of such gatherings is implementation of directives of Honorable President of the United Republic of Tanzania, because everybody must play their part to fulfill them.
Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania.
Some fishermen and sardine traders in KIGOMA region have said closing of borders by neighboring countries due to the coronavirus pandemic has affected business activities.
Ni kweli tumeathirika kiasi kikubwa kwa sababu wateja wetu wengi walikuwa ni.
We have been highly affected since most of our customers were from Rwanda due to the pandemic and measures took by the country in controlling spread of the disease, including matters of movement, have brought impact to our businesses. I am calling on governments of Tanzania, Burundi and Rwanda should have a dialogue so that our fishermen and entrepreneurs could benefit from sales that will be able to reach out to their neighboring countries.
Biashara yetu ya wavuvi na wajasiriamali ili ya kwamba iweze kuinuka kama ilivyokuwa siku za nyuma.
Large taxpayers in the northern zone have commended the government for continuing to address the problem of use of force and threats to collect taxes being done by some officers of Tanzania Regulatory Authority.
We brought this opportunity for education for taxpayers, especially in new areas of transfer pricing and e-filing. On the other hand, the authorities are too late to bring training to taxpayers, and so many have been struggling on their own without training. Only a few in this country deal with multinationals.
Hapa tunawaelimisha wenzetu.
We're educating our colleagues to ensure voluntary tax payment in accordance with the requirement of the law, so that they avoid interest and penalties because it increases the unnecessary cost in business.
Chini ya rais wetu Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan,
under our president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, there are all sorts of high hopes for a better business environment. We plan to organize a forum for investors and traders.
Biashara kuboreka zaidi.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
Welcome back, and in sports news. Both Simba and Yanga have been warmly welcomed in their respective regions ahead of the much-awaited Azam Sports Federation Cup semi-finals.
Yanga will face Biashara United at the Ali Hassan Mwinyi Stadium in Tabora tomorrow, while their counterparts Simba are scheduled to play Azam FC at the Maji Maji Stadium in Ruvuma on Saturday. Fans of the two most popular clubs in Tabora and Ruvuma welcomed their teams with all the hype as they both tried to reach the final with the possibility of a Kariakoo derby in the final, which will be played at the Lake Tanganyika Stadium in Kigoma.
The African Super League would boost development of football in Africa, according to seasoned football administrator Adam Mukhtar Mohammed.
This competition was suggested in 2020 by FIFA President Gianni Infantino, with the idea for a closed shop of 20 to 24 elite clubs to buy in with a view of generating up to $3 billion in revenue. Talk of a potential Super League in Africa have heated up in recent weeks, with football stakeholders weighing in their opinion on the proposed plans. Unlike the European Super League, which never became a reality, the FCTFA boss hopes that the African version comes to fruition because of the advantages it will bring.
Atlanta star Rai Young has terrorized Milwaukee to single-handedly carry his team a famous series opening win in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here's more on the story.
Young had a playoff career-high 48 points, including 12 in the fourth quarter, as the Hawks come back from 4 points down with less than 2 minutes left to win a thriller 116-113. The seesawing battle went down to the final play of the game, with Bucks shooter Chris Middleton getting a final shot from way downtown to send the game into overtime, but it bounced off the rim to give the Hawks a vital victory on the road. Young's performance also saw him become the youngest player ever to put up a performance of 40-plus points and 10-plus assists in the conference finals or NBA Final Series.
Colombia has been left, moving on. Cristiano Ronaldo, has become the joint top-scoring men's international player of all time.
The Portugal star fired home 2 goals from the spot against France in a heavyweight Euro 2020 clash last night. That takes him up to 109 goals in 176 matches for the national team, putting him at the top of the list of goal scorers on the international stage. Ronaldo needs 1 goal to become the sole highest scorer. He is currently tied with Iran legend Ali Daei, who scored 109 times in 149 matches between 1993 and 2006. The pair are far ahead of any other player on the list, as Malaysia hero Mokhtar Dahari, who retired in 1985, is the 3rd top scorer on 89 goals, and Hungary icon Frank Puskás finished his career in 1956 with 84.
And Colombia have been left furious by the end of their 2-1 defeat to Brazil in the Copa America group stage, as Roberto Firmino's 78th minute equalizer came following a build-up touch of the ball from referee Nestor Pitana, and Casemiro's winner came deep into stoppage time. Here's more on the story.
Defenders stopped when Pitana accidentally intervened in the SALAAM move, but Tite's man kept going and Firmino benefited with an easy header. Despite fierce objections from Colombia, the goal was upheld. Then 10 minutes into stoppage time, Casemiro slammed a near-post corner kick from Neymar into the net to seal the dramatic result and send Colombia away empty-handed. Afterwards, Colombian manager Reinaldo Rueda described the referee's distractions of his players the moments before Firmino leveled the score.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania, from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.
This week on Culinary Delights.
This is the backyard, our stress-free zone right in the middle of the city center of Dar es Salaam. We have here our juice bar where we make our freshly squeezed juice to quench your thirst.
Cha kwanza utakachokiweka ni ndimu.